Hey everybody, it's Amy from Amazing here today with Kitty, and I'm here today to do the BGD in the past tag by AG Dolls Down Under. I already said that I would love to do a tag if she ever made one, and here I am, and I really love this tag. I have the questions here on my phone, and let's start. First question. As a kid, did you play with your dolls? If yes, what doll was your pride and joy? If no, what toy did you play with most? Yes, I had quite a bit of toys when I was young. When I was 3 years old, I got my absolute favorite doll I've ever had, and I still have him. He's a baby born boy. Well, technically he never had really a gender, but he was called Jonathan, and he was my absolute favorite doll. And I also had a doll, I don't know when I got it, but I definitely got it on my birthday as well, because it was named after my birthday. It was basically called Birthday Baby, but in German, Geburtstagsbaby or Geburtstagskind. Yeah, it was called like that. You know, as a child, that seemed like an appropriate name for my doll, Birthday Baby. But yeah, I really loved both of these dolls. I still have them. They're still at my dad's place, and they're going to be transferred to my place soon, soonish, since I decided that I want to keep them here as well. And I also played with Barbies when I was younger. I had this amazing Barbie house that my dad made for me, and I still have it as well, also at my dad's place. And at some point when I have my own flat, I'll definitely take that along with me. And yeah, I had one Barbie that was like my most precious Barbie, and it was basically me. And I also had a Ken doll, which was Eric from Ariel. Like, I had a doll of him, and I really loved him. He was also one of my absolute favorite dolls when I was younger. Second question. Do you remember the kind of games you played with your toys? Yes, I usually played very much life like situations. I always had romances going on, and just my character going to work or cooking, or just playing with her pets, because she had like a massive amount of pets. She had like every single pet I ever wanted. And yeah, very bits of life sort of situations. I played that sort of thing. I never really did that much fantasy. Yeah, I never did that. It was more of like a perfect life sort of thing I played with my doll, I guess. Yeah. And with my smaller dolls, like the earlier dolls that I had, the baby born doll and my very first doll, I basically had them like a baby, you know. I dressed them. That was my favorite thing to do. Dress them, bathe them, feed them, you know, fake feed them with like these bottles that look like you drink out of them, even though it's still the same amount of liquid inside of them. Yeah, that sort of thing. I love that. I really love that. Third question. Were there any dolls or toys that you loved before BGDs? So this is, if I remember correctly, I think this is like after you were a child. And that's a good question. I always loved stuffed animals. I have like a huge collection of stuffed animals, and they always were like very important to me. And I had my Barbies even when I was older. I still had my dollhouse. I still have it, and I played with it after after I was grown up, basically. And yeah, as a teenager still, I really loved it. It was a very dear thing to me in a way. I also have a few figurines that I had, like Pokemon figurines, and all sorts of collectibles, stuff like that, but nothing really like, not something like Monster High or, you know, something like American Girl dolls. I never played with that sort of toys. Yeah, I never really had that until I had BGDs. I had Barbies before that. Yeah, I think this was like the only thing I had besides BGDs and my baby dolls. Question number 4. Did you have a story before your dolls? Yes, I started writing when I was about 9 years old, and I had a few stories. Like I wrote quite a few of them. Like one of my biggest ones I finished when I was about 12 years old. Then another one I wrote at the age of 13, and I'm still writing stories to this day. And I actually wanted my very first girl, which is Kitty here, I wanted her to be the character from my very first story, but it didn't work out. And now my tiny BGD sort of is a reincarnation of this character I had. And yeah, I've always loved making up stories for dolls or just in general. And it's so nice to have them in person, like, if you could say that, in person. Like, you have them as a doll, like, you can look at them, you can, you know, hold them, like, you can hold your character, and that's just, yeah, it's amazing. Last question. If you could change anything you did in the past that's BGD related, what would you do? That's a really hard question. I think I would have preferred to have an MSD first. Like, I think starting off with Ryan was not 100% the best decision, because I just fell in love with him, and I didn't really look for any other BGDs or like anything. Like I purchased him in white skin, which I regret as well. I would have preferred him in some sort of more natural sort of skin tone. Like her, like she looks just so much more realistic. And I also, yeah, I just really love her face up, like compared to his that he had when I got him. And I guess I would have changed that. Like, I would have changed my first doll, and I would have wanted to either have a different dolly, or, yeah, I think she would have been a very, very amazing first doll. But, you know, it is how it is, and she was my second BGD, and I don't regret buying Ryan because he's very dear to me. It's just that I think I would have been a lot happier back then with a different sculpt, and it wouldn't have taken as long to fall in love with the doll as it did with Ryan. I tag Swans or Sarah or Pint-Sized Palace to this tag. I also tag Adelie BGD. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. I'm really sorry if it's not. And I'm obviously going to tag all of you who else wants to do it. Like, if I haven't tagged you, then please feel free to do it. It's a really lovely tag. I really enjoy it. It's not too long, and it has some very interesting questions I would love to know. So yeah guys, I'll see you in my next video. I love you, bye bye.